Hi everybody, welcome to my making week. I thought we'd spend some time together this week reconnecting and sharing some of my crafty endeavours this week. Well, specifically one project I'm going to work on. It's been ages, hasn't it? Weeks and weeks and weeks since we chatted last, and like many people you'll have heard say before on YouTube, if you have a break it makes it really weird, awkward, difficult to come back. And yeah, so I figured we'd do this making week rather than a formal podcast. I thought little snippets of filming might ease me in a little bit more gently. So the project I want to focus on this week is a pair of socks. I'm currently on a Christmas gift making endeavour, and my plans for my immediate family this year, well certainly Nick and Megan, are to do the 4 Sundays of Advent, and in that little package will be a hand knit something, socks for Nick, some chocolate, and just a little trinket, nothing expensive, nothing extravagant. But rather than doing an Advent, I'm just going to do the 4 weekly things, and my goal for Nick is to do 4 pairs of socks. And I'm on track. I've done 2, but when I do sit down and do a proper podcast with you, I'll share those with you. I haven't started anything for Megan yet. I know I want to make her a hat. I know I want to, and I've got the yarn all caked up for that. I know I want to do a couple of pairs of socks, which is totally achievable because Megan thankfully prefers them shorter. And yeah, this week I'm going to focus on a pair for Megan. And I had this idea, I shared it on my Instagram maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure. I was sat in the garden one morning and the garden's looking beautiful. If you don't know, we moved into a new build property it's coming up 5 years, it'll be 5 years September. And when you get a new build, you literally get a square of grass, really, that's it, if you're lucky. And our house is on an old clay pipework, so the grass was terrible. The ground for in-ground gardening is appalling. So we spent the whole of our first summer sort of landscaping our garden, and Nick did it beautifully. And we've got all raised beds and like curved areas, a beautiful pergola. It's not a big garden, not at all a big garden. Certainly can't give you a tour, more of a quick walk around. It's not a big garden. But over the 5 years we've really invested time and money, really, I guess, planting the garden. It's just beautiful, we love it. And each summer we've sort of spent our plant budget through. Last year actually we went to our favourite garden centres, and every month we bought a plant that was at its absolute prime flower when we bought it, so we knew that each month we would have something that was at its prime, and that really worked really well. Anyway, I'm waffling already. I was sat in the garden one early morning. It was an incredibly hot night and Jeff couldn't sleep, so we were sat outside from about 4 a.m. under the pergola. I was knitting, Jeff was just chilling out in the cool, bless him. I was looking around, and our planting scheme, it's very much cottage core. Hopefully I'll have managed to put a few pictures and little snippets over me waffling here, but it's very much cottage garden. There's lots of English roses from David Austin. There's lots of like lavenders, astranthia. We've got seaside plants like what are they called? Agapanthus. We've got loads of agapanthus. We've got grasses and ferns. We've got calla lilies. We've got alchemilla mollis. We've got geums. What else have we got? So many different plants, and the colour is so perfectly contradictory. There's a real juxtaposition. When you look, there's the Queen of Sweden rose, which is just a beautiful pastel ballerina pink, and that's sat next to an alastramera, which is colours of fire. What else have we got? we've got Port Sunlight Rose, which is peach and creams, and then that's got shoots of crocosmia, bright red crocosmia flowers next to it. The Japanese maple is almost chartreuse green. We've got hostas of so many different shades, from a real sage green to a vibrant lime green yellow. It's beautiful. And Mother Nature is never wrong, is she? If they grow together, they work together. But it just struck me, this colour palette was just stunning. And it really, really inspired me. I couldn't get it out of my head. It was one of those. And immediately I think of stripy socks. And I think of our Pick and Mix minis. And, well, that sent me down a right rabbit hole at work. So I came up with this palette of colour. Oh, I just love it. I put them in a bag and I haven't looked at them for some time. And now I'm looking at them again and I'm really inspired. Let me show you. Some of them I've caked up already and some are still in their palette. Oh, look at those. So we've got the sort of gentle peaches and the ballerina pinks sat next to vibrant chartreuse green. And these mid-tone red pinks next to a sagey blue grey and a vibrant iris. Do you see what I mean? How the colours sort of, this buttery lemon. Got a couple more here too. I picked 10 in total. Look at these. Aren't they amazing? Oh, I've got this new camera and I haven't quite figured it out yet. There we go. So this is my palette. And I somehow want to play with stripy socks. Now, I've caked these two up, so they were obviously the two I intended to start working on first. And then I'm going to have a play with these and see where we go. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to do a regular pattern, whether I'm going to do 10 rows of each, whether I'm going to, oh, I don't know, mix match, you know, do 10 of this, 2 of that, 5 of another. I'm not sure. I am going to weave my ends in as I go, not doing the weaving Stephen technique per se, but every couple of stripes I'll just drop back and weave those ends in, so at the end I don't have so many to go. As I say, Megan likes quite a short sock, not shorty, she does like a tiny bit of leg but not a huge amount of leg. So lovely. So yeah, I'm going to spend the week with you just showing snippets, show how I get on, show how these socks come to life. And I've just got them in this little bitty pouch. Again, I showed these on Instagram, but I'm not sure I've shown them to you. I made these for myself, oh gosh, months ago, and I just love it. It's just a little pouch, hand dyed the fabric, coordinated it with some Liberty. There's no drawstring, no closure, it's just a little bucket that sits by my lap with my darning needle, my stitch markers. I've got some light bulb pins to keep track of my rows and my project, and it just sits by my side. It's just perfect. Anyway, it's lovely to be talking to you. Let's crack on with the week and see where we get with this idea and this riot of colour. Actually, I just love it. I think Meg will too, because it's just fun, isn't it? Bedtime knitting is always centred around a little poodle. It's okay. We have cast on. Look at that face. Hey everyone, it's next day now. We are on Tuesday and it's my day off, so I have a little bit more knitting time. We're at our caravan, our holiday home, as you can see. It's, what time is it now? It's about 2 o'clock. I've done some knitting this morning, which was nice, my early morning knitting. I've been for a swim, which is lovely. I've started open water swimming since we last spoke. I might have to get my sun hat, it's really quite bright out here. I've got really light sensitive eyes, so I struggle in the light. Anyway, ramble. Yeah, I've started doing open water swimming. So just at the back of us there is a lake that I go swimming in. So yeah, I've had my swim, all my cossies and that drying out here, which is lovely. Oh, I love it actually. It's only the 3rd time I've done it, but I love it. Just swimming with the dragonflies and the butterflies, and there were some coots this morning on the lake. Not by me, they soon shifted when they saw me get in, but yeah, it was lovely. It's a really, really unique way to view your surrounding. It's really lovely, magical. Anyway, so I've been busy on my sock. When we spoke yesterday, I cast on and I decided to do a 2x2 rib, but I did a twisted rib where you knit through the back loop. I did that, and then I've added in some more stripes. So I decided in the end just to go with regular stripes of 10 rounds. I did contemplate whereby I was going to do the 10 rows of the green, the chartreusey green, and then put this peachy colour. I was going to put 5 rows, 10 rows of the green, and then 5 more rows of the peach, and then do a 10 row of the hyacinth colour, and then the next couple of colours I would alternate the thickness of stripes. So that was an idea I was contemplating and playing around with, and I may well do that again on another one, but for this I just decided to let the colours shine and go with the stripes. So I'm ready for the heel now. I said Megan likes a little bit of a leg but not too much, so I am ready to put the heel in. So I'm going to drop back now, weave my ends in, ball up my next couple of colours, which will be these two. So the pink will be my heel flap and heel turn, and then I shall start my gusset decrease stripes with this sort of delphinium blue. So I'll get the next couple of balls wound up, and then we're good to go for this afternoon's Olympic knitting. Gymnastics this afternoon, so I'll enjoy that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really fun, and Megan's gonna really like them. I've wound the next 3 colours up. I quite enjoy winding mini skeins by hand, and it's quite therapeutic. My temptation now is just to keep on knitting, but I'm going to stop and be disciplined and weave these little tails in. If you've been here for a while, you know I have form for not weaving in ends. In fact, it's not unheard of for me to give a pair of socks to Nick with the ends still needing weaving in. So I'm going to be disciplined and get them woven in like a good girl. Hi everyone, it's a couple of days later now, and I haven't really knit a stitch since we were at our holiday home, which is so often the way actually. When I'm there I get lots of focused knitting time, and which is what days off are about, isn't it? So I certainly get a lot more done then. But we find to enable us to have those 2.5 days at our caravan every week, we have to cram a lot in. Work-wise is fine, that's a different schedule, but I have to cram in sort of all my home and family and life jobs to enable me to go there and switch off for a couple of days. So yeah, I don't find I have a lot of time. Yesterday, Wednesday, we came home. We went straight to work, and it was knit night on Wednesday at work. So I was there till about 9:10. And usually at knit night, I do get some knitting done, but I was just too tired. So yeah, I just couldn't be bothered. So I was just chatting with my friends, which was lovely. I've got a slight little bit of progress from when I last saw you. I've started the heel flap, which is looking lovely. So I've got a couple more rows to go, and then I'm going to do the turn and then change colour and continue with the stripes. So I'll try and get that done today. Nick's just gone for a little lie down. It was so hot at work today, really exhaustingly hot. So Nick's just gone for a little lie down under the fan, and I said, oh, do you know, I'm going to put my feet up. But I'm sure a lot of you are the same. We just have that, sit down and have a knit and put your feet up for an hour versus do this, you know, and your shoulders just compete, don't they? We go into the allotment later as well, once we've had dinner, which is a really quick and easy dinner tonight. Yeah, we'll go and water the allotment and tie in my pumpkins and all that sort of thing. And then I shall just crash, I think. So I'm not quite sure how much knitting I'll get done tonight either. But I've made a good start on jobs at home. I make work for myself, but I'm more than happy to do so. Like for example, we only ever have homemade cake and biscuits and things like that, so I do make work for myself in that sense. I've just bought a load of meat that was on offer in Lidl this morning on the way to work. I popped in and they had some good deals on meat, so I want to get that vacuum packed and in the freezer. I've got loads and loads of broccoli stalks from our allotment. All the heads have either been, the florets have been eaten now or processed and in the freezer. I've got loads and loads of stalks, so I want to make some broccoli stalk soup. I've got some Stilton from the freezer that was left from Christmas, so I'm going to use that up. Some creme fraiche, make some soup, and then that will go in the freezer for autumn. I've just made, what have I done? Oh, let me show you. I've just made fabric softener. We make our own fabric softener and laundry detergent. I've done for months now, months. In fact, we make all our own cleaning products. This is always a raw we. Mum does and help where she can, bless her, but it's predominantly me. So I've just made a fresh batch of all that. I'm about to make a banana cake because there's some bananas just about on the turn of going off, which is perfect for banana bread. I found some chocolate coins that were in a thing that Meg had for Christmas, so I'm going to chop them up and put them in the banana bread. So that's why I'm not getting much knitting done. So whilst this is a making week, my making is more encompassing than just knitting. I'm making cleaning products and laundry detergents. I'm making a cake. I'm making soup for the freezer. What else am I doing? Oh, I've just braided a year's worth of garlic, so I've made that. So our making week encompasses so much more. So actually seeing it through that lens has changed my perspective. And yeah, I was starting to think, oh, I've started this video and it's already a flop because I'm not going to have even finished one sock in a week. But actually I said my making week, isn't it? And we make so much more than that, don't we? And we make a home, we make our family happy, we make so many things. So that's it, that's my little check-in. That's 5 minutes of waffle you're not going to get back, isn't it? Hi everybody, it's a few days later now and we're back at the caravan, which means hopefully get some knitting time. It's just been one of those weeks. It's been incredibly busy at work, dying Advent, incredibly hot and humid at work, and it's just been really uncomfortable and really unpleasant working conditions. So we've literally gone in, got done what we needed to get done as quick as possible and got out of there. So I haven't really been chatting too much. And what day are we today? Sunday. I didn't knit at all Thursday or Friday just because I was just too tired. By the time we'd been to the allotment, done the watering and the sorting of the plants, and when I came home I was freezing green beans and dehydrating courgettes and things. I was just done. But last night we was watching the Olympics, Saturday night, and I did have a little knit then, and again this morning I've had a little knit. So yeah, I've got some progress to show you. So I've managed to get my heel done, as you can see, and added a couple more stripes. Oh, I'm still trying to get used to this camera, and I don't know what it wants to focus on and what it doesn't. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, I've added some stripes, so I'm going down the foot now. So I'm really hopeful that I'll get this sock finished over the next day or two while we're at the happy van, and then that will be my making week. So I'll take you with me over the next couple of days and we'll see what we can achieve. Good evening, beautiful people. It is Tuesday evening, about 7:15, and it's exactly 1 week later from when I started this weekly endeavour, and I'm in exactly the same place. It's been my day off. We're at the holiday house, our caravan, and I don't know why I called it a holiday house then. It isn't a house, it's our static caravan, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And yeah, I've had a lovely day, and I finished my sock. Ta-da! Isn't it glorious? It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's wild and fun, and yeah, I love it. Love, 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 love it. I have just weighed the yarn. So just as a quick recap, I decided to do 10 rounds of each colour in sort of symmetrical stripes. However, this peachy one here, I've ended up doing 11 rows, and the same with this sort of bluey grey. That's also got 11 rows. For no other reason, I just can't count. I did the heel flap and heel turn in the pink, as you can see. And I've just weighed all the yarn that I've got left. And even the stripes that used more yarn, so the heel flap and the gusset, for example, and the 2 stripes here that are going through the gusset decreases where they have more stitches on the needle, even they have got more than 5 grams left. So I could replicate this sock in its entirety, but I'm contemplating for the second sock picking up where the colour sequence finishes here. So I would do my cuff with this hyacinth and the pink, and then my first stripe would be with the delphinium blue and the yellow peach, and run the sequence just continuing from the toe. I think that might look quite cool. Yeah, I think I like that idea. So that'll be clearly a pair but not a matching pair. But equally, if I did want to do them exactly the same, and I know so many of you do like matchy matchy matchy, there is plenty yarn to do that. I honestly thought I would get more done this week than a sock, and I based that on last week's knitting. And yeah, last week I achieved loads in our couple of days here, absolutely loads. I almost knit a sock in the 2 days, and going on that, I thought that would almost be replicated this week. But you know, life isn't the same week on week, is it? It's not just in terms of busyness or, you know, anything like that, but just your mindset. I remember last week on the Tuesday, I was so focused. During Monday evening, I did the heel flap heel turn and started the gusset decreases on a sock for Nick. And then Tuesday day, I was so focused. I was not, well, I guess speed knitting to some extent for me. I was really ploughing through the rows, and every 10 I was like, what, no, what, you know, and it was really focused. Whereas this one, not so much. It was much more relaxed, but nonetheless I got a sock knit in a week, so it's been a good experiment. And I now know when I do want to knit socks for Megan for Christmas or knit for Christmas, I need a week per sock. Nick's just back. Any fish?
Yeah,
Cool. Have you packed up?
yeah,
You couldn't be bothered. That's Nick just back from fishing for the evening, so yeah, I guess we'll just take Jeff for a walk now and settle down for the evening. So yeah, it's been a good experiment to see exactly what I can achieve in a sort of a normal working week, really. It's been a really busy work week. It's been a really exhausting week with the heat. I haven't slept well, so come the evenings, I mean, I thrive in summer.
It's your summer below 15 degrees.
I wish I could show you Nick's face there. I do not thrive in summer. I'm miserable, I'm furious, I want to cry all the time. I'm not great company. Nick's just nodding to all this. So in that week, it was quite an achievement to come out laughing in my marriage with a sock. So that's it. I'm going to leave it here, and I will catch up with you next week perhaps for a normal podcast, and I'll show you what I've been up to over the last few weeks. Take care, lots of love.